Well, hello there, everybody. It tells me that it is alive. So I say, agree. I create, thus I speak. I create what I speak. So welcome, everybody, on a cold day here in the Midlands of America. They say the heartland, all right. But I got a feeling it's cold everywhere. So, hey, folks, it's wintertime. Let's just enjoy it, savor the flavor of the season, and you'll have a good time. Speaking of favor, I speak favor over us all. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Be of service to others. Bosto. And hey, prosperity, baby. Yeah. Prosperity has a lot of different meanings, has a lot of different connotations, but it's a good word. I mean, if someone is like really angry and, got this vibe and you just say, well, I just speak prosperity over you, what are they going to do? Hey, I don't. Well, yeah, I do. Yeah. So welcome, everybody. Hello, Ann. Good to see you, Brenda. Good to see you, Street Mom. That's who I was speaking to. Joyce, good to see you as well. Scotty Boy, I think S. Lee was in there earlier, and Jargo. So helping everybody. Happy holidays. It's festive if it's inside. That's where it should come. And I hope that maybe the day will come where people can actually come back together as family and just, that's what it was all about, wasn't it? Not about the gift giving. The gift comes from the heart, But anyway, I digress. Go. Good to see you. Scotty Boy. Doug, hello. Someone I just seen, it just went scrolling by really quick from the Caribbean. Is that no? Kent, how are you? Glad that you made it live. Good to see you, my friend. So as they would say, how are you? How you been? Well, I hope. Got an email from Mark, who's down in, I think it's Mexico. Anyway, a lot of people, Mark, this sending you a favor surrounding it. S. Lee, excellent chat, and fellow moderators. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up, and thank you, moderators. Y'all, you're just fantastic. I know people get sometimes like, weirded out, but these are good people. So support the moderators, and actually, and technically, most of you are moderators. So what else is happening? Give me a second here. I mean, it is cold out there, folks, and I know some of you have been seeing it already, but holy crap. Yeah, our alerts keep going off. So let's see what else is happening. A lot. So today we are going Little Red Haze 72. How are you doing? Good to see you, Brandy. I see that cold smile. Yeah, man, it is. Jeez, it is like chilly. If you don't have like long johns, this is when you really wish to say, man, if I'd only thought about that. So, we're talking about candles. Thank you for many of the comments. And I still marvel at the synchronicity of this group, because it never fails. I bring up a topic here, we start delving into it, and, it's not uncommon to get 2 or 3 people who will write and say, started looking at this a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, Yosley, good to see you, my friend. Good to see Cowboy. Hello, Crystal Clear. Downloaded the PDF. Excellent. Shadow files I worked in a freezer, so I'm used to it. I guess you would be. Yeah, because it's but did the freezer have a wind chill? I mean, how much wind was blowing through there? I mean, it is flat blowing. And these oak trees out here are just standing tall. They just, yeah. So anyway, Doll, good to see you as well. Mark, how are you? Porta Varalta. That's where you are, Mark. Okay. Man, I mean, that's faith, brother. Mark, I've been there. Where you're not sure what the next day holds. It really holds what is truly you need to have manifested. And yeah, I have been there. And I look back and those are lessons and I'm going, oh yeah, see, I remember. So Mark, I know you're going to be just fine. Red Honey, good to see you. Grace, hello. Monkey Experiment, working outside today. It sucks. I bet it does. Yikes. I wouldn't recommend beast nor man out there. So we're also going to get into incense as soon as I stop talking. I have found this sandalwood. Wow, it is from a great company. They're actually called Solo Therapy. Powerful stuff. We're going to be talking about oils, essential oils, and dressing candles. If you're up in the Boulder area, or if you're looking for a company that really does what I consider a phenomenal job, there's a company called artoftheroot.com. And I think I can show you. Let me get this in. So as he gets us into focus, are you feeling? Yeah. But this one here, as you can see, was made on the 18th, and it also has it as an expiration date. And this is a company that I really like their stuff. I mean, it works. So if you're looking for a source, because, sometimes time and circumstances don't lend themselves to where you can actually make your own oil. And although there is a lot to be said that when you're actually mixing it yourself, the intent is important, that energy. This company, they're out of Boulder, Colorado, I believe. Yeah, they are. As I'm looking at this, I believe the intent is amplified in each one of these. So anyway, check them out. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. Kelly, what's up? Good to, hey, Robert V, got to go back out and do some work. Everything is breaking down here. Robert, you got that wind. I mean, you can probably hear it in the background. But I know it's bone ass cold up there where you are, brother. So man, just take care of yourself and kind of, we'll just send you with warming vibes. Blazing Rivers, how you doing? Says in the fall of 2019, I had a C19 and peppermint oil saved me. A couple of drops into hot water and the towel over my head. Oh, a concussion. Okay, yeah. Robert says, get ready. This cold is going to make gas prices higher. So I got a sense there's real issues on that pipeline. Is that what I'm picking up there, Robert? Paul Joe, good to see you. But just keep yourself safe, my friend. I know you're well versed and well experienced, but still, we're just going to surround you. Okay, and if you are like I am, like I experiment. It's the only way I know how to do magic. I know how, to do magic in a religious setting, master at that. And what I've learned over the years is to transfer those same skills that I used in a different set of circumstances and bringing them over here. Work just as well. So hope you've got like frankincense, you should have, depending on what you got, the myrrh, powerful things. Cinnamon, I was talking about that earlier. I just threw there. Frankincense and peppermint oil helps neuropathy. Yes. The Princess Funk, how you doing? Good to see you, Michelle D. You're shutting things down. Holy crap. Does that mean like everything that's going to the refineries? Holy crap, that's exactly what America needs, right? Well, you heard it here first, so prepare for it accordingly. Emperor Rex just bought sunflower seed cream today. There we go. I love this. Transmute shadow files. That's a good word. Yep. Doug says to you, Robert B., have a shot of peppermint schnapps before you go out. Yeah. You need that. I love frankincense. Yeah. Blueberry, concha cola, frankenpound. Okay. I was reading that. Dragon Soul Fox, how you doing? Good to see you. A few of us here in Crestone, California had COVID, and a nurse practitioner told us to use essential oils, peppermint. Yeah. All right. So let's get right to it. I find this interesting. It's pretty, well, what can we say? It's pretty sharp stuff. Give me 1 second here. All righty. As he gets going. So, okay, I'm back. It's like, wow, man. All right. All right. So here we go. Oils and dressing the candle. Hey, this stuff is cool. If you use it, it works. There's going to be a quotation here on, we're going to look at magic with incense. Wow. That's all I got to say. And the first thing about it is, if you don't believe, this isn't going to work for you. I mean, if you have hesitation, self-doubt, you think that this sometimes may be a little bit to the extreme, that's cool. I just want to let you know you're not going to get any results. But if you've got that measure of faith and saying, the universe is far beyond my ability to comprehend its fullness, and that there are many different things that work in these forces that coalesce with one another. These are individual forces that they predate us. And you have the opportunity when you're in this realm to be able to participate, to use, to master the unseen. I mean, for every God, it is a practice of faith in the unseen. Magic, again, is a wandering word. We know what abracadabra means. I create what I speak. I can tell you, and I have repeated this to ad nauseum, but again, it's the experience that I have. I come out of a belief system where I was so in tune about every word. Now, I think you can get to the far extreme of that, but if you find that balance and realize that communication involves many different creative aspects, you'll rock and roll with this. All right, so and I am going to make, I talked to my wife last night and said, I'm going to try this. And of course, I love Lynn. She just, she said, go for it. I said, yeah. You'll need oil to anoint the candle. This is called dressing the candle, and it's a very crucial part of every candle spell. You're addressing it so its message is delivered accurately. I was once taught by, the guy was, in the name it and claim it crowd, of which I was part. But as he said, the problem many of us have in manifesting what we desire is that we don't know how to actually adequately articulate what it is we desire. Vast majority of people will not write down what they want. Well, they'll speak it. They ain't got no problem. But there's something about writing the word, the vision. As I'm sitting here, I can remember Habakkuk 2:3. And it said, well, let me give you a backdrop to here. This is where, your knowledge and it plays a vital role into where you will be in your future. So the story goes, the children of Israel have been released from captivity from Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. And they're coming back, and the whole Jerusalem, the whole Judea, it's been ransacked. It's devastated. There ain't a stone left on top of one another. And so they're bitching and moaning and saying, we should have just stayed with our captives. I mean, at least they fed us and we had a place to sleep. And, and so God tells the prophet Habakkuk, it's a strange word, says, first thing you've got to do is write the vision down. So they went in through gates. And if any of you have ever studied the Jerusalem has a number of gates. There's the sheep gate. There's just a number of them. It's the gate that Jesus spoke about, the eye of a needle for a camel to walk through. There's a whole story behind this. But anyway, so this God tells this prophet, he says, now, these people walk by gate number 2 every day. They come in, they get food, barter, et cetera, et cetera. So what I want you to do is to write the vision down. And back there in those days, that meant getting a stonemason, a carpenter, and literally, they imprinted the vision of the new temple. There's also another story of that goes back to the days of Jacob, where his uncle Laban. Now, many people are saying, Wayne, why are you bringing up all these references? Because there's knowledge hidden in there. Most people just goes right over their head like a 747, and they don't have a clue. But the interesting thing is, and I'll digress here just a second because it plays a role in this again. So Jacob's gotten screwed by his uncle Laban. He wants Rachel. He's got the hots for her. Back in those days, you just didn't get a woman that way. I mean, there was a price and there was bartering. So the deal was, Jacob's made the deal with this crook he knew was a crook, and said, listen, I take care of your flocks. All your flocks are what they call purebred, solid colors. And he says, here's the deal. I'll do this for 7 years. And if you read the whole story, you see that the longevity of life was much longer than it is here. But anyway, and he says, every spotted yearling calf that comes out will be mine. That will be my pay for this. And this will allow me to meet your demands for your daughter. So the deal was made. So now Jacob had to have had some knowledge of some kind. Not saying the story is true. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I know the principles are true. And he says what he did was that when the animals would come to the pond area to drink water, and I don't know if you know this, but many times with domesticated herds, when they are drinking and the environment is safe, they feel safe, they'll mate. So Jacob puts a thatched wall up where in the water where they're looking as they're drinking and as they're mating. So many of you have probably drawn the conclusion. So you know what they produced? They produced spotted offspring. And it ended up that Jacob had more animals than Uncle Laban. Of course, he wanted his head. But see, my point to all this is this will work. And we talk here, we share a lot of knowledge. So someone needed to hear that. Anyway, he says, sure, you can buy perfume candles that are already scented. Please save them for relaxing in the tub. You can even buy candles that are already dressed. But since the point is to personalize the candle exclusively to you, What good does it do if the candle has been dressed by someone else? Dressing your own candle assures that you are attuning that candle to your intentions, personalizing it, enlisting it as your ally. What kind of oil? Many metaphysical shops sells oil suitable for candle dressing. Some are attuned through the herbs they contain, like I was showing you over here, to certain colors. Some have colorful descriptive names like Come to Me or Fast Luck. Select these oils based on color and or purpose and pick a scent you find pleasing. A small vial will suffice for starters. You can gradually collect a variety of oils for different candle occasions. You can also make your own oils using specific herbs, essential or perfumed oils, and small amounts of any mild scented vegetable oil, such as grapeseed or almond. That's cool. How to apply your oil to the candle is determined by your intention. So there's like this inviting stroke where your aim is to call something to you and bring it into your life. Apply the oil first around the top of the candle in a clockwise motion, looking down the wick at the wick. The bottom, again clockwise, with the candle upside down, and then center, that is around the candle's waist, clockwise as you hold the candle upright. Then rub some more oil from the top in towards the candle's center and from the bottom up to the candle's center. So you would start here. Say, for instance, I have one here that I thought was interesting. What did they do with it? Well, as he said, oh, it's right over here. For instance, you can say, all good is mine, thy blessing unfold, tears turn to smile, and silver to gold. Lucky am I, luck is mine, by accident or by design. Good fortune, all I see, success is in all I do and is mine. So, you can be doing that here, then bring this, and then here. So there we go. This is class, show and tell, right? As you do this, hold a clear mental image of drawing good things to you, pulling them in towards your own inner heart system. And what I saw was an individual represented by one, and coming in were those things that for instance, I saw a sunflower. I saw a blue sky with a cumulus cloud, a bird, good things. And when we practiced Money Magic last year, in one of the rituals, for those of you who didn't do it, what you do is that you picture a raven or a crow, and in its talons, it holds a bag of gold. And as the raven flies away, it will return to you again one day. So there you go. There's a banishing stroke. There is the fragrances. And here is interesting. So let's talk about the banishing one. When your intention is to move stuff out of your life, reverse this process. Apply oil in a counterclockwise motion to top, bottom, and center, then rub out and away from the candle center, keeping a clear picture of things departing as you do so. I almost see this, cyclotron. Things are just going boom. For novenas, tall candles and glass, these burn for days, and many people feel safer about leaving them unattended, still in a bathtub or sink. Please, obviously, you must dress them in a different manner. To write directly on the candle, reach down with your tool and scratch the words into the wax around the wick. Then apply your oil around the wick and on the glass around the bottom only, working clockwise to draw to you, counterclockwise to send away. With novena candles, petitions can be fastened directly around the glass jar itself so that the light of the candle flame will shine through the paper as the candle burns. Now, there are some rituals where, having your cauldron works fine, because we'll get into that, particularly working with incense, where you'll actually burn this desire, this request, this goal, whatever you want to do it. All right, so fragrance associations. On Mondays, the moon, whites and emotions is white rose, white garden lily, or gardenia. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Red is the color. Aggression is the emotion. Pine, carnation, or honeysuckle. I can still smell honeysuckle. That's because when I was a kid, I was actually an indentured servant, free labor. We had moved to some property that was covered with honeysuckle. And let me tell you about these caterpillars that are on honeysuckle. They are monstrous looking. I mean, they're green and yellow spotted. They got spines. Anyway, Wednesday, planet Mercury, color yellow, any yellows. Lily of the Valley, lavender, bayberry. That's cool. Thursday is Jupiter, purples, expansion, magnolia, sandalwood, or sage. Sandalwood is one of my favorites, along with sage. Anyway, Friday is Venus, green in any greens, and the emotion is love, primrose, thyme, and lilac. Ooh, that sounds cool. Saturday is Saturn, blacks and endings, water violets, black orchid, or hibiscus. Sunday is the sun, oranges and creating, rosemary, rue, and cloves. Fragrances that are ruled by the moon: balm, coconut, eucalyptus, gardenia, jasmine, lily, lotus, myrrh, poppy, sandalwood, water lily, and wintergreen. Fragrances ruled by Mars: allspice, carnation, dragon's blood, ginger, high John the Conqueror, honeysuckle, hot peppers, peppermint, pine, snapdragon. That's interesting. All of this is. Fragrances ruled by Mercury: azalea, bayberry, clover, fern, lavender, lemongrass, lily of the valley, mandrake, mint, hemp, and tobacco. And by the way, let me just say this. I don't recommend smoking tobacco, but it is a good idea. And I'm just going to lay this out. Marijuana is as well. I think there's now 31 states where cannabis is legal. But you should have, and not the ones that come in cigarette packs. If you're going to buy tobacco, buy it in the pouches. Tobacco is very powerful. It's used in binding demons. The hemp, the offshoot of that would be cannabis. Again, powerful. I mean, if you think about what these two substances do to the human body already, if you consume it, now apply that same energy, that same force to your modality or whatever particular spell that you're working on. I didn't know that, Steiger. Well, yeah, that's why we're here. Fragrances ruled by Jupiter, anise, datura, lime, magnolia, maple, meadowsweet, nutmeg, oak, sage, sandalwood. So sandalwood seems to have a little thing going on here because it's also ruled by the moon, Lilith. And Jupiter. You don't say. Yes, I do say. Fragrances ruled by Venus: African violet, cherry, lilac, primrose, spearmint, strawberry, thyme, and vanilla. Ooh. We've been making our own vanilla. I mean, it takes months to make it. You have to turn it every day, but it's well worth it. Wow. I have to remember this. Fragrances ruled by Saturn: black orchid, hibiscus, iris, morning glory, opium, poppy, pansy, petunia, peyote. You see, what am I saying here? Solomon's seal and water violets, peyote. Now, that could be a challenge finding, but if you do, well, now you know. And I find it interesting for those of my age group and have been down the same path I have. Isn't it odd that we see peyote under Saturn? Wow, I can get that. All right, so cedar is ruled by the sun, cloves, chrysanthemum, cinnamon, frankincense, juniper, marigold, rosemary, rowan, and rue. Create an altar or special place where you can burn your candle and leave it undisturbed afterwards. You can add flowers, incense, or other symbolic items if you wish. Time your candle burning to correspond to the cycles of the moon. Right now, for instance, if you want a spell of prosperity, this is the time where the moon is in a waning position to conduct those spells. You can find them out by looking at the weather page. To bring something in your life, do your rituals when the moon is waxing or growing. To rid yourself of something, do it when the moon is waning. If you have knowledge of rune stones, it is possible to carve them into the candles to help intensify the magic. Meditate briefly before lighting the candle to help still the mind and bring your desire into focus. When you light the flame, state your intention out loud in simple, clear terms. Imagine that you already have what it is you want in your life. And I'll just say this, that is so freaking important. Because if it's not real to you, then you're still hoping. You got to get away from hope. You got to get into the faith, and damn it, I know it. Ain't no one going to take this away. Isn't no one going to trespass and try to influence, take anything away. You got that type of thing, and you have claimed it. This is mine, and neither heaven nor earth will stand in the way. Lynn and I were talking, and it's amazing. You look in your life, how many times did you do the impossible? You moved circumstances that was impossible. You may find yourself in a circumstance right now that you say it's impossible to get out. No. Don't let that be your internal reality. Just telling you. Continue to chant your desire as the candle burns. It is not necessary to chant the entire time. Watch the flame steadily, but don't stare intently. Focus on being receptive and open to what it is you want. Now, I'll just say this for my part. I will close my eyes in a meditative session where I'm using a candle, and what I begin to find out is that the candle becomes as vivid as if I'd had the scales open. When you have completed your ritual, allow the candle to completely burn away. You do not need to stay with the candle after the ritual. Just make sure it's safe, and red hot wax will not cause damage. Common sense, right? Never reuse a candle which has been lit in any magical ritual. It should only be used in that ritual and then be allowed to burn away. Then dispose of the leftover wax afterwards. To help the candle magic, you can also place a piece of wax under your pillow and repeat the desire every night before you go to sleep. You do this every night for a week after the ritual. Folks, we're learning right here. I mean, you don't have to buy anything. It's right here. You can play this program over and over again. And those of you who are truly practicing, hey, this will help. I want to say something else, too. There's something about candle magic, incense rituals. They have more immediate results. Now, I will say this, if it's like you want a streak of luck, well, there are a number of rituals that are very simple and they work. But the thing I'm trying to say here, unlike, when you're doing kind of Solomonic magic where, you're really getting into some heavy crap here, and crap is a good word, just expressive. I have found with the candle magic is that the results come, but if it's something that needs refreshing and what have you, it does have a tendency to wane off. So anyway, much has been made of the astrological influence of candle magic. In candle magic, the moon phase are the most important. And if you already know Lilith, invite her in. She'll help you along with this. You'd be surprised. The new moon, if the goal you desire is one of new beginnings or a start, the best time to do this is during a new moon. This is when the moon is dark in the sky. While many do not like to work with a new moon, I have come to discover it's one of my favorite times to work. This is the time I can to tie up loose ends, smudge the house, seal, and protect. This is also a great moon to work with when you need a retreat a little bit and revive yourself, as it is the moon of hidden knowledge. This would be an opportune time to try to ferret out information that you feel you need to know. Ask the question. In fact, you should do a session, a meditative session, and use the candle, use incense, the oils. But if you're lacking the knowledge, well, then write it down. Put yourself in a place where it's just you, and just meditate on that and ask. Yeah. Ask, seek, and you shall find. That's what they say. Although the darkness in the sky is startling during a new moon, it is often associated with dormancy. We know the moon is still there, even though her reflection may be hidden. I prefer to think often of some of the darker sides of the goddess or the darker goddesses themselves. If you ought to at least acknowledge them. I mean, many of us will meet them. Yeah. Waxing moon. While the moon is so slowly filling in from a crescent on its way to full, is the best time for work that increases. I find this an excellent time to do financial, job, attraction, or anything else that needs increasing in volume or intensity. Full moon. The full beauty of a full moon night is enough to make you gasp, and it's true. Ideally, this is the time for things to come to full fruition, especially if you have been working on candlecraft goal to coincide from the waxing moon into the full moon. I like to think that the goddess can hear you better on a full moon. But seriously, whether accumulating an increase to an end on the full moon or starting a decrease to begin on the full moon to decline on the course of a waning moon, the full moon has an advantage because it seems like our invocations and focus are all in higher gear. The waning moon. When the moon is slowly crescenting bit by bit into the new moon, this is an excellent time to work on banishing or getting things out of your life that you need to let go of and leave behind. Again, if it's taking you longer to let go of things or get rid of situations in your life that have outlived their usefulness, you can always gear your candle working to accumulate on the new moon. Often a situation might arise which must be dealt with immediately and cannot wait until the appropriate lunar phase. Listen to your gut instinct and act when you must. of course, there are always ideal times to light a candle. In fact, if we were to get really obsessive about perfect timing, we could consider the appropriate positioning of the astrological events, days, hours, months, and corresponding archangels to help us along. Let's face it, it's struggle enough to keep track of corresponding colors and oils to meet with our goals. Isn't it odd how we've come to learn about these angels in so many different ways? Okay, because I want to get on with this. Naturally, one should rely on one's own instinct as to which color of candle would work best for the purpose for a healing or a sabbat. We can sometimes associate what is best for fertility or money simply by visualizing the green of a field or cash and associating that with the color of a candle. There are ancient ties with candles and scientific methods too. Within the color spectrum, there are 7 primary wavelengths or vibrations. Ceremonial magicians have even ascribed colors to the Kabbalah. Without overwhelming yourself on technicalities of color, you can always make exemptions or go with what feels best. You are your own master magician, which, whatever it may be, God. If you have a friend who's going through a tough time and pale blue does not feel like the right color to use, why not send healing energy with an orange candle to give her the zing and zest, and not to mention the strength to handle whatever she is dealing with? Maybe this is what we could do in this collective. I mean, this is not the spooky stuff. There's a lot of the spooky stuff we've gotten into. This is not. Says the most important point in selecting a colored candle is to find one that relates to your own path, your own tradition, and most importantly, to your will. All right, so we've got candle symbology. We're about down. I won't get into this because just ask me. I'll send you the PDF. You can do it yourself. Language of candles. As you begin working with candles, you will discover that they have a unique language. I like working sometimes with smoke because there are certain entities that will manifest themselves in smoke. I have noticed when I burn a combination of frankincense and other incenses that, wow, I've had spectacular results on that. So, yeah, anyway, the language is expressed by dancing of the flame, the wafting of the smoke, and the snap and crackle of the burning wax. In order to successfully interpret how your magical work is progressing, you will be communicating not only with your own subconscious, but with the fire elementals as well. 2 candles will never react the same way when lit, even when they are homemade and all things are known to be equal in their manufacture. Though undedicated, a candle has unique properties that individualize it from others of the same batch. When dedicated and lit, each candle displays a unique personality, shaped from your desires, that is communicated by the tiny fire element or salamander housed within the flame. Communication with you will vary slightly from candle to candle, depending on the task assigned it and how well you have aligned your intentions. As your candle burns, free your mind, and concentrate on the candle. Watch how the smoke rises and the flame dances, and listen to the sound it makes. The smoke may rise to the east or whiff to the south. The flame may flare or dwindle, and the sounds may be of a poppy nature. Ask yourself how these actions relate to the magic you are performing. The answers you perceive are often startling and revealing about the true nature of your desires. Do not be surprised if the unenlightened attribute of the language of your candle to the myriad of logical explanations regarding drafts, chemical compositions, atmospheric conditions, etc. When the results are in and heads are scratched in dismay, just remember that all of magic is a seeming array of uncanny coincidences to the unenlightened. We know. And they will marvel. Yes. All right. The flame. You will soon realize that your candle flame will frequently wave, dip, bob, regardless of how carefully you shield it against drafts. This is called the dancing flame, one of the ways a candle communicates with you. The dance's meaning, and once understood, can help you determine how your magic is progressing. Strong flame, this indicates that power and energy are going into your desires for manifestation. This is a very good sign. When a figure candle is used, a strong flame generally indicates that the person represented by the figure is winning or angry or is using authority over another. When two figure candles are present, the higher and stronger flame represents authority over another. A weak flame. This can show that you are facing heavy opposition and must redo the magic several times in order to overcome the power you are facing. And folks, there are spiritual entities. They don't want you to have what you speak. They don't want you to have your desires. I mean, it's a game to them. No, it's more than a game. It's their existence. And if you don't think that this is a battle of wills, well, many of us know that it is. The weak flame can also indicate on a figure candle that the subject is losing the battle argument against another. The weak flame that goes out usually means that you have missed your target altogether. Start over and be more careful of the intentions you put out. A jumping flame, this is an intention getter. It can indicate raw emotions along with explosions of energy, depending on the candles used and its intended purpose. When two figure candles are being used, a jumping flame usually means that an energetic or heated discussion or argument is taking place. Rainbow flames. As indicated by the name, this flame is composed of various colors. They have the same meaning as those listed in the color pages listed in this site. So, okay. I want to get into the smoke. The following general rules apply when interpreting the direction your candle smoke takes. If it's north, you will have to work for what you want. Success will not be easy or rapid. Perseverance is the key here. In the case of health, it can mean a condition can get worse. Look to other omens for more information. East. Success comes with thought and strategy. Carefully review the situations. Patience is key here. South. Success comes rapidly with your request. In the case of health, your recovery is imminent. West. When the smoke wafts to the west, the issue is too emotional. Step back. You are too involved. Look at the situation from a detached point of view to clear the mind, then reanalyze the problem. Is there something you are overlooking? So I want to get in over here. As he says, I want to get over there. All right. So this one is cool. This is really a cool book. 850 rituals and uses with chants and prayers. This one deals with incense. And if you really want a good reference book, this is one to have. You have incense introductions, incense A to Z's, 245 incenses with 444 uses and rituals. Gets into the powders. And I like this. In a book of this kind, it is impossible to have an exact reference as to the purpose of each of the over 850 rituals. Since each is unique in its objective, the index would be too lengthy. Hence, this guide will help you to find the type of ritual quickly. You can then check through those coded similarities until you find, and she really did a great job. And I'll show you this. So there's codes here. So the purpose of ritual, and so attracting, the code is AT, business is BU, consolidation and comfort, CO, controlling, CT, gambling, CA, guidance, CU, health and healing, HE, hexing and jinxing, HX, legal matters and court cases, LE, love, LO, luck and good fortune, LU, miscellaneous and general purposes, MI, money is coded by MO, peace and serenity, PE, power, strength, and influence is PO, prosperity is PR, protection, PT, psychic powers are PS, religious, RE, self-improvement, SI, sex is SE, special purposes, SP, spiritual, ST, uncrossing and removing curses or jinxes, UN, wealth, WE, wishing, WI, work and job, WO. Says this book will provide a much needed guide to the many occult incenses and powders being used today and the various methods of employing them to gain one's objectives. There have been other books covering these materials with lists of their purposes, but the intent here is to give full information and complete directions for specific purposes. Within these pages, you will find over 850 rituals for almost that same number of different objectives, including are about 250 incenses and over 300 powders, with an index for locating the various subjects which interest you. However, an index cannot provide a complete list of everything included in the text, so it is suggested that you read the entire books, perhaps making those rituals which you may wish to use sometime in the future. The material herein has been gathered over a long time as a teacher, practitioner, and student of magical and occult literature. If you are a believer in the tremendous force of faith power, the rituals given can help you attain all the things you want in life and assist in ridding you of those unfortunate situations we all find ourselves in from time to time. There are magical procedures here for love, protection, resisting evil, increasing wealth, staying out of jail, and easing pain. If you are a skeptic and a disbeliever, there will be no more help in this book than a pleasant experience of reading some strange and interesting folklore. Be more, Anna Riva. I really like her work. So she gets into incense, and it is interesting. Because again, here is my training in the rituals of Christianity, that wherever the high priest went of the Levitical tribe, whether it was Aaron or his descendants, those who attended the Holy of Holies, in which the high priest only went in once a year, and that high priest had around his ankle a chain, because on his toes and on his girth of his belt, there was a bell, sometimes more. And if the bell stopped ringing, that means you've got a dead ringer. They have to pull the body out. But it was interesting because wherever Aaron went, how the first ceremony went, he had the ephod of which he was wearing and the incense. If you look at Catholicism today, they still use the same thing. Before you approach this God, it appears that it must have this incense, this smell. I've told you that when Solomon consecrated the first temple, the massed amount of cattle and oxes and every animal that was slaughtered, they burned that meat on these huge brass ritual objects. And God said that burnt flesh was a sweet aroma to his nostrils. Well, if you're into burnt flesh, then you could probably see why your house would probably need a little incense. But anyway, as you can see here, it says, from the biblical days, incense has been used during special ceremonies. In Exodus, it is written, "Thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon." He burnt sweet incense thereon, as the Lord commanded Moses. Incense, with its sweet-smelling perfume and high-ascending smoke, can be compared to a sincere, earnest prayer, which, enkindled by the fire of concentration, rises up as a pleasant offering. They also used it to help with the smell, but that's a different story. I won't get into all of this because the time is limited. We'll pick up some more. This is a book that if you have any lack or looking for knowledge of each one of these powders, these incenses that are come together, this is one to really have. It's cool. I think this is cool. It says, for those who wish to bless the incense or dedicate it to a special purpose before beginning the ritual, the following general prayer will serve. O blessed one, and you can change that to whatever you want, accept this ceremony with the spirit in which it is performed, with sincerity, with humility, and with the realization of mighty mystical forces far beyond my own understanding. Then she gets into all the different incenses, Adam and Eve, the African juju, Algiers, all purpose, all saints, and it just goes angel, overcome hexes by burning this in the home once a week, preferably each Monday morning. The goddess Aphrodite, and within each one of these, there is the chant as well. Your zodiac sign, there's certain incenses and smells that will aid you. And again, you can see the code here tells you exactly where you will find this and where it will line up. So anyway, let's see, I'm just about out of time. We'll still get in. There's even more. If you like, I like to really get into a subject, and it's like the old junkyard dog. I ain't going to give up my bone. There are several other books that we will be looking at. This is one that actually has a number. This is Cassandra Easton's book, Candle Power, Using Candlelight for Ritual, Magic, and Self-Discovery. A good book again. All of these are, if you're into the subject, are well worth it. So, yeah. So there you go. I think I'm still live, aren't I? Maybe. Yeah, I can see myself. Okay. Because on the other channel, it said technical error. So anyway, I trust it has been fun. How many people are still here? Is this still live? Appears to be. It says it is. So there we go. All right. Hope y'all are enjoying this. For me, it is, wow, it's informative. It's definitely helpful, and I love it. It's not complicated. It's actually pleasant to work with. I mean, come on. I mean, it doesn't smell, right? So anyway, folks, I hope that everything is going well. As he looks over here, one is and one isn't. That's so weird. Brian 58, appreciate it, buddy. You have a great afternoon too. Michelle Reed, thank you. Jargo, how are you doing? Joyce, good to see you. All right. Jackie says, I burn incense every single morning. Yeah, my office, the smell makes me happy. Sandalwood and dragon's blood are my favorite. It's odd that you say that, Jackie, because that is exactly what I am burning is dragon blood. So, and earlier, sandalwood. Stephen, you're welcome. I mean, folks, this is good stuff. This is practical. I mean, this isn't an hour that just waste your time. I mean, this can turn some of you. I mean, things can just, wow, it can make it out. Third shot of Jack Daniels. Salute. Indeed. Robert V says they're sending us home now. I don't know what that means. It's so fun at the back of the bus. Y'all party a lot back there. I mean, listen, I'm trying to keep the road straight in front of us, but yeah. So Jackie, I do too. We're going to continue it, and we're probably going to do some spells together. Why not? Has there been on YouTube where there's been a collective group that actually did spells? I think we're going to get into that. We'll do some candle magic, and I think that would be kind of really, wow. Can you imagine plugging into the power of, let's say, 100 people, 200 people participated? Wow. You have your own thing, right? But we're all going to do it together. Wow. I think that'd be kind of cool. All right, folks. Eyes on the driving. Well, of course, All right. Much love to you all. Happy holidays. Be safe out there, folks. It's if you're in this polar vortex, it's cold, baby. So just use common sense. Practice some magic. That's a good thing. That'll work, won't it? Go, appreciate you as well. So I think put down in the comments whether you think this is a good idea, that all of us get together and, as we get the material, I'll put it out a week or so, but we actually do a group candle magic with incense ritual. Wow. Okay. Michelle says, this is going to be my new business. That is cool. You see, that's what I'm talking about, Michelle. You could be doing that. And listen, if you got the intent of a couple of hundred people all focused in, wow, could you imagine? Holy. Yeah, I think that's pretty damn cool myself. So, all right, folks, I am going to continue to love this weather. I'm going to do some work this afternoon, some candle magic work. By the way, so I found one that works really well. This is using sandalwood. I like it in the package, and I put this in the cauldron. Use 3 drops of cinnamon oil, 2 drops of deep blue, 2 drops of breathe. These are all the essential oils, and then 2 drops of wild orange. Wow, it's pretty cool, man. It really is. And what a smell. It was fantastic. All right, everyone. See y'all tomorrow, and we're going to have fun with this. All right, folks. Thank you.